Hello, and welcome to the Feats and Fables 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons streaming game just for adventurers like you. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and all over the internets, plus wherever you get your podcasts, by searching for Feats and Fables. If you want to watch us live and chat with us and participate in our special 15 minutes after the show Porch Lag Chat, join us on twitch.tv from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday nights. Our entire backlog is on our YouTube channel if you want to catch up. I'm Paige Lightman, your DM, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglarond, a peaceful pastoral land of half-elves. Our heroes of Aglarond are part of the Foresters, an elite unit of scouts and rangers charged with defending Aglarond's borders, particularly against undead from the evil, fascist nation of Thay. Our heroes, previously on Feats and Fables, have traveled to the Feywild city of Mithrendain and found that the mythal that they carry is the source of a huge rift between the Winterfey and the rest of the Feywild. Let's meet our heroes. We have Victor Toussaint, a human eldritch night fighter played by Ron Frankie. We have Wildfire, a Fire Genasi evoker wizard played by Joe Streaky. We have Ross, a lizard folk Drake Warden ranger and barbarian played by Coda of Kodab Games. Who is mute? Everything. We have Malagar, a Drow Twilight cleric played by Dr. Andrew Wong.
Look me in the eyes.
And we have Belwyn, a Dwarven Paladin princess played by Ben Heisler.
Hi, and I'm ready for my close-up DM.
I just looked at your video! Oh my god, make it stop. Oh, that was frightening. Right, I totally forgot where I was and what I was doing. Uh-oh. Can chat hear us?
Check in here Paige and Ben, because they're not muted. Maybe everybody's muted forever? It's hard to be sure.
Also started saying all muted. Oh, now they can hear us. Oh my god, we have to do a sub dance already!
Woohoo! Alright, let's get the dance music on.
Let's make sure they can hear it first.
I'm working on that. You guys go ahead.
Wow.
Hear the dance music.
Coda, that's amazing. I wish I had those moves.
Mike, say words now.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, you hear the dancing. That's what's important.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Flounder. That is very kind for you to give subs to our community.
Very kind to make us dance first thing in the show rather than in the middle of a very tense scene.
Also, thank you for all the sound checks, everyone.
Yes. We cannot do this. We're all community together.
We literally could not do it without you.
Yes.
Yep, I blame last week's surprise game, which had a 100% different configuration in OBS Streamlabs.
That was a ton of fun, though.
Not feeling well.
That's fine. I'm not complaining about you.
I mean, does that mean I get to 100% blame the producer who didn't check things?
Whoa! Maybe?
I'll play myself out.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So next time we need to dance, we've got to do close-up dance. I think that's only appropriate.
I can't
I was
do
about
it
to
on
say,
my
like-
camera, because I don't... My camera
Paige,
doesn't do that.
Paige,
Yeah?
lean in.
This is me leaning in, Coda. My monitor is the size of a billboard. I can only get so close to it. Like,
Climb on
are
that
literally
desk.
sitting on top of my keyboard.
But here's the thing. We're on a screen where they can't see you to see how zoomed in you are.
What?
you are not on the Heroes of Aglaron page, which is what is currently live. Therefore, your amount of being close to the thing does not matter.
I think if we've learned anything here, it is just exactly how professional we all are.
100%.
It's all good. You can just watch this on YouTube where all of that will be cut.
We actually scripted all of this.
Oh, the YouTube stuff is cut? That's a shame. You only get comedy gold like this if you tune in live.
No, he doesn't cut that out of YouTube, do you?
Hey, look! We're playing games now.
Holy shit, he does. Okay.
Hey, look over there!
What could that be?
I tend to remove technical difficulties and other shenanigans like that because they're not actually fun if you're not actually here for it. It just wastes time. That's the type of thing that makes me stop watching a video.
That's fair.
So, however, if you really want to keep the outtakes in there, you can just go to the YouTube videos and comment and let us know.
Don't
Please
forget,
don't.
you can always clip our Twitch videos as well.
How do I do that again, Coda?
No, we're not doing that right now. We're playing this game.
Dungeons and Dragons, everybody!
We're not doing learning how to do clips or other technical support in the middle of people watching this. I'm sorry, our 15 watchers.
That's
sorry.
on Wednesdays, as everyone knows.
Of course, we don't know. Maybe that's what people are here for,
Yeah, welcome to the Feats and Fables Twitch tech support channel.
right?
Not Wednesdays. Not Wednesdays.
Look at those gorgeous nails, Ben.
Yes, tell us about this polish.
You just wanted to show those off.
Yes.
No, I totally forgot it was there. I was facepalming so hard.
It's fair.
I believe we were playing a game though.
Were we? Was that what we were doing? Ugh,
We lose one
Thank you,
week.
Brother Flounder. Thank you.
I'm opposed to it.
So, the image that I'm seeing,
Is not the one that's...
the image
Okay,
I'm seeing on
Roll20.
Twitch is not the same one I'm seeing on Roll20.
Indeed, Twitch is all country roads.
Take me
It is the one
home.
I'm seeing on the Twitch on the server.
West Virginia.
That's roads to the place.
When I,
I belong.
when I reloaded Roll20, I got the cityscape to come up.
No.
I mean, I can reload Roll20, I guess.
I can see this Ewok village on Roll20, so
Yes, Brother Flounder. So much of this is getting cut. So much.
but this is the good stuff though. This is the good stuff.
We have to be careful. For eventually, Ben is unsatisfied just cutting the video, and he starts coming to cut us if we don't get
True.
him.
Fair.
Truth.
Alright, let's do this thing.
All right, it is evening in the city of Mithrendain. A crescent moon rides high in the sky, and you have a small, cute, fluffy cat, dog, fox thing that has sat on your windowsill. Wildfire has gone to the library, leaving the rest of you home alone. What do you do?
I step forward and tell everyone that I am going shopping. Anyone that would like to go shopping, come in with me.
Yes, maybe they have a useful herbalist district.
I look around this room. Paige, how much meat would you say is in this room?
I don't know why you're asking because the answer you're going to get is not enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
fair enough.
that.
I suppose anything beats sitting cramped in this room. It would be nice to stretch the legs.
I need to meditate a little bit, but if you could, get the lay of the land, that would be great.
Come join us, Ross.
Paige, I will grab some of my finest loincloths and bring them with me.
And that, Your Honor, is how the whole incident started.
Go on.
I'm so confused how this is not expected.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not expected.
Hmm.
I'm just saying that you're going to hand one of the beautiful Eldarin a crudely made loincloth and they're going to treat it like somebody handed them a plate of roadkill.
Crudely made. What is this?
Or maybe he was going to find an Eldarin consignment shop and see if they'd be willing to hawk his sweet loincloth goods.
Look, if they can't appreciate the fine lizard craftsman or craft lizardship of my loincloths, then perhaps they do not deserve them.
I always imagine the Fae as being, trapped in almost endless ennui. And perhaps the thing to snap them out of that is a loincloth.
I've always enjoyed a fine loincloth, and I think so would they. It's very freeing.
All I heard was the fine lizard and crack, and I'm thinking you're showing your bum off, or is it that type of trip? If so, good on ya.
Is it a Parisian double grin?
Yes, I've actually never checked if your loincloths provide coverage both fore and aft.
I mean, there are so many styles. Let me show you some of my favorites as we walk.
Excellent.
I mean, I will start demonstrating some of my fine salesmanship on Malagar. Get some practice in.
Yes.
I just want to say I love this game. I love it.
Hey, Paige, what skill does selling a loincloth fall under?
Persuasion.
Oh, good. I've got a +1 in that.
You're gonna do great. All right, so you head off. I assume through the city or through the main building, not just jumping down on the branches. Or do you jump down on the branches? Hell, I don't know.
We were lacking our wizard, so I don't think we're going unless Malagar has Featherfall ready.
No, I can't recommend it. I could probably help you out when you jump and crack your legs, but
Great, we're just gonna fucking walk then.
I could probably jump that.
You probably could. It's
shite.
2 stories. It's 25 feet maybe. And there's plenty of branches and climbing down bits.
I mean, there's no point in, unless there is a need, I'm not going to make a jump like that.
I'm merely presenting options.
So you
All
let me know when everything is on fire.
Only a matter of time, Coda. All right, so you head through the main hall, and it's a little bit twisty. Do you want to just ask for directions, or do you want to give me no, I totally know where I'm going check?
No, shite. I'm gonna walk up and be like, hey, we want to buy stuff. We're tourists. We want to steal spots.
All right. The Hamadryad that you have asked this to looks a little confused and holds up a finger in the universal symbol for just wait a minute and leaves. And then comes back with Wisteria in tow in a couple of minutes. Wisteria sees the group of you and says, can I help you? Do you need something?
Aye, we want to spend some of our hard-earned gold and ruin your economy.
Oh, actually, our economy does not value gold very much. Silver is far more worthwhile.
Well, we got plenty of that too.
Good.
Suggest you buy gold with it immediately.
There's plenty of shops that are open until well in the night. What sort of things are you looking for?
Well, for me, any amount of armor or trinkets, or if you got any magic item shops or anything like that, some bling. And then
yes, we're actually famous here for some of our magic items.
Great.
I can draw you a quick map.
That sounds great. And then also something about fashion, and she turns and points to Russ, and then herbal supplements, healing stuff, and points to Malagar.
Yeah, something to, I don't know, I've been feeling a little bit, breathing's been interesting lately, so I was looking for some remedies.
All right. So we want to. Hang on, I'm coming up with shop names. Just a moment.
It's all good. Wait, and then do you have like a trade, a merchant center or anything like that I could talk to about setting up some trade with the Prime once we get all this, whatever this is figured out?
Well, there is a trade council that meets every once in a while. They're not due to meet anytime soon, but
Son of a bitch. Do they have a secretary I could leave a message with?
Absolutely. I can introduce you to them tomorrow if you like.
Great. Thank you very much, Wisteria.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Just give me a moment to sketch out a map. I need to go get some paper.
Great.
Are you planning on negotiating a trade treaty with the Eldarin here?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's the kind of thing where they, I'm sure they've had problems with people from the Prime before, and, where trade happens, where trade crosses borders, it turns out armies generally don't. So I was hoping to set up some kind of something there.
Planning ahead, I see.
Well, when you're a princess, you gotta worry about these things.
All right, so Wisteria comes back and hands you a piece of paper, hands Belwyn a piece of paper. And it's kind of like really nice, thick paper, and it's got a bunch of faint pastel tints in it.
Ooh.
And it looks like somebody has pressed almost like fall leaves together, because it's got like red and yellow, just faintly, and orange, and kind of leaf-like patterns. And you see a quick sketch of the city, and he points to an area that he has circled in kind of a rusty orange color. Narine's Harps is here, and it is one of the finest places to buy magical items, certainly within the Feywild. The Fine Coat is over here. The proprietor of that shop is named Balm, and she is a friend of mine, and you should mention my name when you are there.
Do they only trade in coats there?
No, they do have fine coats, but they trade in all kinds of clothing.
Excellent.
And I'm sure they can find something that would look lovely on you. And Zyrus is actually the apothecary to Queen Tiandra, and he maintains a shop over here. He has another spot on the map circled in kind of a warmish red color.
Excellent, thank you.
Hey! So which one's closest?
They're all about equidistant. Just choose.
I, in the tradition of D&D, am going to roll a die.
Yeah, but
Ooh, you should spend a inspiration on this.
I'm rolling a D3, you crazy bit person.
I'm just saying, we'll probably get more.
We probably will. Alright, so 3. So the third one you mentioned. We're off to Zyrus first.
yes, Zyrus's remedies. All right, so you stroll through the city, and the moonlight spills down over the boles of the trees, turning them into quicksilver as you walk. There's a pleasant sound of a nightjar calling. The air is faintly chill, but sort of a pleasant kind of chill, enough to make you kind of want to snuggle into your clothes. And there are definitely sounds of the city around. You hear a horse neigh off in one direction, but you don't see many carts and all that kind of stuff here. There is, again, from a public house nearby, there's the sound of music as well as the smell of food. There are a small market for, looks like, all kinds of fruits and vegetables off to one side that still has people in and around. However, as you are walking through the city, a fair number of Eldarin are looking at you with shock, to the point where children are sometimes snatched out of the way.
Malagar will totally wave back. He's used to this kind of attention.
Me too, although I mostly ignore it.
I hand out the dwarven version of Turkish Delights.
Which is what?
Which is
Turkish
Turkish
delight.
Delight that tastes like whiskey.
All right, so the passerby that you try to press it into their hands, you're, of course, performing your salutations in, I presume, Common or Dwarven?
Yes, because I don't think Giant is going to cut it.
I mean, okay. There is a complete lack of understanding of these languages. So what are you doing about that?
I'm smiling and waving and handing out candies because I'm royalty.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to help this situation by definitely having the "Do Not Kill Me" badge on, but also giving, and I've been practicing this, my best crocodile smile.
Mm-hmm. So you get a lot of different reactions, and Ross and Malagar are fairly astute when it comes to recognizing people's reactions. And while there's no small amount of shock at the sight of you, Malagar seems to draw a sort of a special attention here, far more than the rest of you. However, folks that are close enough to see your symbol of Agron that says "Do not kill me," you can tell several of them have a shock of recognition.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad they all understand Common. It would be a big problem if they couldn't read Common and all they saw was the symbol of Aglaron. That would... Whew.
It's a universal symbol.
Like, when learning a new language, learn how to ask where the restroom is, learn how to say, "Please don't kill me."
I mean, it's super true. Super true. Like, these are very important things to know.
It's weird because the second thing I learned in English languages is where are my pants?
I mean, well, "Donde están mis pantalones" is also pretty important on the grand scale of things.
It's gotten me pretty far in life, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Right, so those are the sort of reactions you get walking through the city. The Eldarin to whom you give the whiskey-flavored Turkish delight accept it with polite faces. Malagar and Ross, you can see that there is no way, no how they are putting these things in their mouth.
But they're delicious. Delicious.
I mean, are we talking like this is a like mothers taking children's candy away situation?
More like the mothers are not going to let you that close to their children, but anyone who you give candy to kind of like smiles and nods and says something. Malagar, of course, speaks Elvish, which is, I mean, it'll get you about 35% of Eldarin, and it's a kind thank you, and then it goes directly to their pocket, and they smile and walk away.
Bowen, it's so weird. I found a trash can full of these candies over there.
What? Well, no accounting for good taste, I suppose. Hey, look, is that the remedy place?
You see a building, and they're all kind of roundish and flattened, almost like an apple shape or gourd shape. And it's got a fine wooden sign out front. And Malagar, you can, like I said, the Elvish will get you 45 or 35% of the Eldarin, but you could make out the phonetics for Xyrus, and it's got a symbol of probably an echinacea plant, a purple echinacea plant. There.
I mean, I know a pinch of Eldarin. It's sort of, the Portuguese to my Spanish, really.
Yeah. It's not as similar as Spanish and Portuguese.
Come on with something else. The Italian to my...
Sure. It's the Italian to your French.
Yes. Malagar will walk in.
All right. You see an Eldarin there with hang on a second. With bright yellow hair, like when I say yellow, it's like sunshine yellow or lemon yellow. and with bright green skin, like.
I'm trying to imagine this now. This is really intense.
Yes, bright green skin.
If the hair was like a little more orange, I'm just instantly getting Blanca.
Sure.
Blanca from Street Fighter.
The whole thing just feels very, very lemon lime.
Yeah, very much so. And they have dark black eyes, almost like a mouse's eyes.
Wait, is he a sprite then? I thought he was an Eladrin.
I mean, you can ask.
Hello.
That was a beverage joke page.
Oh,
Yes.
No,
With the lemon
their
lime.
name is Sprite. They are an Eladrin.
And their eyes kind of widen in surprise as you walk in. And they say something in Eladrin, which Malagar gets the gist of, hello, welcome to my shop, how can I help you? And then they notice the look of complete and utter non-recognition that they're getting from both Belwyn and Ross, and then they switch to Elvish and say, hello, welcome to my shop. Can I help you? Are you sick? You require aid.
I look at both my companions. I'm gonna let them take this one.
Excellent. Actually, I think my companions are doing fine, but Malaga, I guess we'll say in Elven, and I actually don't know if either Ross or Belwyn speak Elven.
Oh no, but I
Okay.
trust you to get me the good stuff.
You're
whatever that
alone
is.
here, Andrew. It's your show. That way you can say anything you want to right now,
Bruh.
and they will have no idea what you're saying.
Around
Don't give him that kind of power.
What's that?
Don't give him that kind of power, Paige.
Like, I'm tempted to
You
just.
goofball, y'all gave him that kind of power because you chose the languages you wanted to speak.
I mean, that's cool. Like, I'm just tempted to just like not hear like mute Malagar from the stream, so that way I have no idea what's being said.
That might be a very good idea.
Ooh, I've done the same.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh, now we're having a private conversation.
Yes,
That's not
we
strange.
are.
I was actually going to ask about some endowment de-enhancers. I know that the Eldarin are famous for this sort of thing. And I've been having a bit of a, I don't know how to describe this, but lung congestion for a few months now. And I've heard that the 1T actually have some excellent powders that can be put into steaming water or some other sort of remedy.
Ah, yes, the children of the Serpent Kingdom are very wise with their medicinal lore, and surely they've known elves for long enough that they would have a thorough understanding of your particular physiology. That is certainly true. May I inspect you?
Yes, please. I had originally intended to make a journey to the 1T, but it seems that we have suffered a bit of a detour. Just sit over here.
Yes, if you would, please. Actually, so Coda and Ben muted you, but I don't know if you muted me.
So it's not physically possible for me to mute you.
Oh, you're
Being
right.
in the
'cause we
same
sit next to
room.
each other.
I mean, like I could leave for a minute. Like,
No.
I
Let's
also
just keep
wanted to
going.
keep some semblance on the game. So.
Let's just keep
Fair
going.
enough,
This is
fair
fine.
enough. And they have Malagar sit down on like a small bench, and they come over and they say, "I'm going to listen to your chest, if that's all right." They bend down and they put their ear against Malagar's chest and say, "Breathe very deeply, if you would."
Malaga does so, several long, deep breaths, slowly.
Is it enough to make it cough?
Yes, it is.
The Eladrin kind of draws back slowly and says a moment and goes and gets a piece of white fabric and comes back to you and says, "Cough into this, please, as hard as you can."
Malagar will do so. Will basically take a few deep breaths, and that sort of draws up that cough, and he spits into it, and closes it, hands it over for the Eldarin inspection.
I will need to take this to the back for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Of course.
He leaves, goes to the back of the shop for a moment. It takes 2 or 3 minutes, and he comes back with a wooden test tube rack with several glass test tubes in it, and he sets it down kind of next to the main bench, and then spends a moment dropping different liquids into the different test tubes. And one of them turns a dark purple, and the next one turns a kind of a golden yellow. And he sits there and looks at it for a moment and says, "You are quite ill."
This was what I was afraid of. But I've been told by several healers, much like yourself, that this was some sort of ailment that only the 1T were specialized in.
I think it is actually a type of curse coupled with a physical disease. That is not a simple thing to treat and will certainly shorten your lifespan considerably.
That is not something that I knew. I thought this was just, I visited a few places, and this thing just sort of happens naturally sometimes.
No, it's not communicable. It looks like it was a magical curse tailored specifically to yourself and woven into your personal magic in such a way that traditional spells won't be much of any use. They might be able to offer you some temporary relief, but they won't be able to stop it. Of course, very powerful magic such as a wish or that, I am sure, would probably take care of it, but in the absence of that, this is something you should definitely get checked sooner rather than later.
Well, who else would you recommend I see?
The Yuan Ti are certainly capable healers.
Yes, but we're a bit far from them now, aren't we?
I mean, are we? The Feywild is in all places and none.
That's true, but you don't exactly have well-labeled portals taking me back to that particular town. Or do you?
Which settlement of Yuan Ti?
Oh, there was a relatively large village in the middle of the Singing Sands, but there were other problems that ended up pursuing us here. I doubt I'll be able to go back there terribly soon. There might be too much attention.
So you are from the Prime material. There is a rather large Yuan Ti enclave in Kalimshan.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought of that. They have things relevant to this.
I would trust some of their most seasoned healers. This is mortal magic, and not anything that I am specialized. I can give you things that will make you feel better for a while, but they will just be treating the symptoms, I'm afraid.
Well, it would help, and I would appreciate it.
Very well.
Oh, please.
It will take me a little time to mix them up. Perhaps the afternoon tomorrow you'd be able to come by?
I would be most appreciative, and if I can leave a deposit, I would.
Yes, money is something. I don't suppose you have gems or silver?
I have some silver. Well, what's a good amount?
Given the rarity of the ingredients, 1,000 silver.
1,000 silver. Well, I think I have a few hundred here.
Do you have anything else of value?
Do I have anything else of value? Malaga will turn to Bell and go, we didn't have any gems in that sack, did we?
What?
Andrew's talking to you.
Oh,
But is it in Elvish?
yeah,
it's
no,
in common.
in common.
Oh, all right. What's up?
What's up?
Gems.
What the
Do we
hell
have
are
any gems in that bag?
It's a whole lot of coffin and other stuff that's going on. Normally, that's not how you score drugs, is it?
Sometimes.
Malagar, why did that liquid turn purple? The doctor did not look very happy about it.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I'm not I haven't taken that particular specialty course in healing yet, where I actually figure out how things work. I just wave my hands and make them go away at this point. We could ask him, but I think it'd probably be beyond most of our ken at this point.
Well, we have I don't know, about 1,000 gold worth of gems and a bunch of weird chunks of adamantine, and then a whole bunch of like coins.
Okay, well, here,
Various
give
denominations.
me those gems, and I'll we can take that out of my cut. However, this is.
You need all of them?
Well, you said there was 1,000 gold worth.
Well, right. I thought you said you needed like 600.
No, actually, I need 100 gold worth of gems because it's 1,000 silver worth of. Right? Is that the conversion?
So in this place, a silver piece is equivalent to a gold piece in the Forgotten Realms. So if 1,000 gold pieces worth of gems in Forgotten Realms is worth 1,000 silver pieces here.
Okay, so yes,
All right, cool. Here, take them.
I mean, we weren't doing anything with these anyways.
I mean, we're gonna. I don't think any of them were diamonds. I don't know. That's a you problem. You're the one that has Revivify.
Were any of these diamonds?
At this point in time, I don't know. I tell you what things are when you get them, and I'm a fire and forget missile.
Oy!
I
Now
just
that
have
goes-
gems, 1,000 gold pieces in our money log.
I mean, that cough didn't sound good. So if it's for your health, Malagar, can you really put a price on it?
I suppose. I mean, I'm not covered by the Forester's health insurance plan, really. So
Well, I mean, we've all made money here. Take these. I'm
now I
gonna.
will push the gems across. Thank you.
Those are lovely and varieties we don't get here very often.
Yes.
This purple one, they call it amethyst,
Mhm.
and it's pretty. Well, in that case, I will have it mixed up for you tomorrow, and I wish you luck finding some that would do it. The Mulharandi are an old folk, and they also have good healers.
Mulharandi. I don't think I am familiar with them.
They're from Mulharand. It's east of Kalimshan, quite a ways.
I will consider them. If you have the name of someone in Kalimshan I should look up, I would appreciate that if you could write that down.
I will have it for you tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you.
He nods politely, gives you all a big smile.
Malaga will turn back to Belwyn and Ross and say, I think they'll need a moment to mix up the lung treatment. It'll be fine. Where are we going next?
You know, I'm starting to think that I might be out of luck trading them my loincloths, as I do not speak or understand them.
I can help you.
Why don't we head over to the armorer first?
Well, I mean, if they don't take gold, then we're about shit out of luck because we got a bunch of weird coinage, but I haven't actually ever been told, it's 87 silver pieces and 31 copper pieces and X number of gold pieces.
Well, then I count on you to make good decisions.
Great! I count on myself to make good decisions. We head over to Noreen's harps.
Okay. As you get close to Noreen's harps, you can hear beautiful harp music being played, and it seems to fill the air with quivering notes that practically make the moonshine sparkle and glitter as they quiver through the air. It is well lit, And inside you see a group of different kinds of fae looking over a variety of instruments that are all of absolutely exquisite make.
I look from the harps to my companions directly into the camera and say, "This is what I get for swapping out a bard character."
I built this with Silvio in mind. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
This looks like this would be a fine. Look at all these. I've never seen half. I've only heard of some of these things.
Silvio would love this place.
And Pidge, as I say that,
It's
I'll
true.
emphasize it by plucking one of the strings.
Look,
Alright.
this harp right here has all kinds of compartments in which you can secrete illicit drugs and monies and things that you were trying to smuggle.
And it's not just harps, it's lyres and clarinets and flutes and castanets and xylophones and French horns and every sort of instrument that you can imagine.
Malagar picks up this rather angular instrument and sort of touches the keys on it. And look, it's the fabled guitar.
What about a hickle horn or a poggle horn?
Yes.
What
What
about a
about-
nozzled blueser or one nozzled nooser?
What about maracas or a cowbell?
Ooh.
There are all kinds of rhythm instruments, including several different types of shakers, and there is a variety of bells. There are several Eldarin children running around in here, playing with the instruments as well. A couple of them actually pull up short in front of Ross and just stand there and look at him.
Coda's smile is so refreshing.
The kids love you, clearly.
Like, they're just standing in front of Ross with their mouths open.
Malaga, what do I do?
Just follow my lead. Malagar is going to crouch down and go, "Hello, children. This is a lizard man. I'm guessing you've never seen a lizard man before."
One of them turns around to one of the Eldarin and says, Mommy, why is her Eldarin so bad?"
Is Eldarin so bad?
Nope, kid says her.
Oh,
The parent comes over, gives Malagar an apologetic smile, and leads the child away. The other one just stands there still looking at Ross.
Perhaps you should offer the child a loincloth.
I'll take out a loincloth and
oh God.
The kid takes it and holds it and waits.
It's a garment, or in some cases, a handy pouch for things, or you'll find something interesting to do with it. Our work here is done. Malaga will stand back up again.
The best part of this is that the Eldarin are going to kick us out long before we fix any of their problems if we keep going at this rate.
This is the best. Are you kidding me?
I mean, yeah, isn't that the point? Like,
right. We wanted to get back to Aglaron, right?
I mean, that was the goal.
Right, you just need to insult 100 more people and you'll win.
One-way ticket.
Wait, so it's just 100? Noted. Thanks, Joe.
He's going to treat this like a Call of Duty objective.
Which means I'm gonna run screaming at it with a machete or a shovel.
Yeah.
The objective spots up. Kill 300 more civilians. It's fine.
Good thing I got this airstrike kill streak. Right, so Malagar, would you mind asking them if they happen to have things other than instruments?
What are you
Perhaps-
looking for?
I don't know, something other than instruments.
The sign says bards are us.
Yeah,
Cheap.
There are, on one of the walls, a variety of different wands and staves, and sort of near the front, there's a display of different kinds of potions.
But all the real bargains are for fine, magical, musical instruments suitable for bards, up to 25 to 50% off the Kelly Blue price.
Great. Fabulous.
Well, no, look over there. How about those wands and other magical accoutrements? Would those be of interest to you? Is that a thing that you use?
No, but I think we should come back here with Wildfire, because something that might be of interest to him.
Are you looking for a weapon then? Armor?
Well, I mean, I got this armor. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking to see what's there that's not...
Amulets? What about these amulets? Look at this fine jewelry case over here.
Sure, I start looking through
There's
there.
a jewelry case.
Paige, remind me, was the shop that we were given when we asked for the magical items? Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes. Though clearly it is definitely a magical instrument shop, and everything else is second place to that.
Well, that's fine, because this is the point in the campaign when I proudly announce that performance is my apex skill.
I knew this shit was coming.
We've come full circle.
Lowered.
All right, so for the audience, we played a Fate game where Coda decided that his character's apex skill, because in Fate you have basically a pyramid of skills, and you have one at the top, and that's your apex skill, was going to be performance, and that was about as useful as you could expect.
It could have been very useful. Very useful.
It simply wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, if we had to put on some kind of show, sure.
Yeah, I mean, if we were playing Gem and the Holograms, that would have been great. Or,
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
I don't know.
want to play Jim and the Holograms RPG.
Or Josie and the Pussycats.
I'm
we've
in.
done that too. I'm sure there are other musical cartoons that Chad is going to remind me exist.
Exactly.
Think of
I love it.
the outfits and the
Now,
hair.
let's do
Oh
something
my
more
god,
modern.
the hair.
Let's do something more modern. We'll do a Daft Punk remake.
Nice.
But there's 5 of us.
What did I just say?
Wait, okay. Can I give you the synthesizer? I just want to be the synthesizer.
Paige,
That's
God.
that's what the guitar was for.
That would mean that I'm playing a
gonna turn us
Warforged.
back into the shop here. Paige, as we're looking around, do I see anything with I'm guessing that a lot of this stuff is engraved or embossed.
It's mostly carved out of wood. Nearly everything is made out of wood.
Sure, with engravings or embossments. I'm going to be looking
Engravings,
for a image, in this shop specifically, if there's anything that has the multi-antlered stag that I so vividly experienced during my last visit to the Feywilds. I'm going to be drawn to that.
Sure. It's actually not listed for sale as a magic item, but there is a wood mosaic on one of the walls that's about, 3 or 4 feet wide, 2 or 3 feet tall, and it's got a picture of that stag running through the forest. It practically makes your mouth water.
Right. When I see it, I'm just going to stop and just kind of be mesmerized by it.
Malaga,
Yes.
can you find out what that is?
And I'll point a claw up at the mosaic.
Certainly. I think it's for sale. Excuse me. Malaga will turn to whoever is behind the counter.
The Eldarin there blinks a couple of times and starts to say something, stops, and starts to say something and stops, and then finally says, hello? Not speak your language well.
It's okay. My friend is interested in this, and Malaga will point at the mosaic. What is this? And is it for sale?
Clearly, what that is the player inspiration the chat has granted us. Thank you,
Woo!
chat.
Thank you, Chad.
Yes. The Eldarin looks at you and then looks at the mosaic and looks at you and looks at the mosaic and says, that is the moon stag.
Yes.
He is, he goes and has a long conversation with one of the other shopkeepers. He is called Oberlinia.
Oberlinia, Malaga will say back in common to Ross.
Oh, Banyanla, I have been that stag.
You've
I know it.
been the stag? That's
When-
unusual.
We were at the hand in the burning sands. The spirits that guarded the acorn gifted me a vision, and I was Banya, and he was me.
Well, would you like to purchase this mosaic to commemorate your experience?
Is it for sale?
Malaga will say, what is the price for such a thing?
Also, Paige, is it physically attached to the wall or is it detached, like in a frame? Or can I remove it from the structure?
Decorative
We're
item.
just buying this wall.
You can always remove it from the structure. The
Oh.
question is, how much damage is it going to do in the process?
Like,
Listen,
if you
we're
say
about to be
mosaic-
kicked out of town anyways.
I mean, the good news is Joe already called it, so I think he gets inspiration for calling us getting
No,
kicked out
it's
of town.
actually in a frame and it's hung on the wall like a picture.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were saying like it's a mosaic. Are we talking like a Roman mosaic in which it would have been
Yeah, no, it's like
directly into
wooden-
the structure, or okay?
It's almost like wooden puzzle pieces put together into a
Right.
mosaic.
Okay.
And they're not dyed, it's just different natural colors and tones of wood.
All right, and I'm sorry, I missed the answer on the price.
No. How much is it again?
Yeah. He again gestures for your patience and then goes around and goes upstairs.
Oh. Had to go talk to someone else, apparently.
I mean, it's one of those things where if you got to ask, you can't afford it, right?
Could be. We'll find out soon enough. Maybe they'll make the 1,000 gold pieces worth of gems look cheap.
Did he say anything about the stag?
No, but we have that name, which is I'm not familiar with that particular individual, but are they some sort of deity or something?
I don't know.
Think back to my class on, where we had to memorize all the deities, but I didn't do very well on that one.
So I would either take a nature check because it's a fae thing,
Oh,
or a history check. Your choice.
I'll do a history check.
I'll lean over and see that you're thinking about it and be like, do you think it's this? Do you think it's that?
Oh god, stop! It's really
Helpful suggestions.
So you think that it bears resemblance to an old high elven, like mythological creature?
But it's a stag, not a bear.
Oh, bear. Took me a moment. I caught up.
Ooh.
It bears resemblance to an old high elven myth that's like, you know how sometimes we talk about in English lit that we have stories from like the 500s or something?
all right, Ross.
like Beowulf, you know.
Yes.
Except it's an old High Elven story of a stag that carried the moon in his antlers, and he lit the way at night for all the other deer and forest creatures to see. And he continually chased across the world, trying to seek his mate, who held the sun in her antlers. But he's a protector spirit who brought light to the forest at night.
Yes. So the sun in the antlers, right there, as depicted, bringing light, I suppose, to mortal man. One of the old gods, I think, Ross.
I think that is a picture of the moon.
Or did I mishear, Paige?
Nope, it was totally a picture of the moon in there.
Sure, I point out that is clearly a depiction of the moon and not the sun.
Well, one of these, really.
I see. But
You said you had an experience involving this figure?
I ran through the Feywilds as Urbanian.
Oh, that is very interesting, isn't it?
It was unlike anything I have felt before.
I mean, I'm sure there are some who actually know more about the old gods who might be able to help you understand this better. Maybe explain why you would have such a vision.
Looking upon its picture, it makes me long for something.
Like what?
I don't know.
You should definitely buy this picture then. It looks only like it'd be very cumbersome and delicate to carry across all the places we're about to go.
Do you think Wildfire could fit it into his magic sock?
With a little stretching, possibly. How big is this thing anyways? Paige?
It's about 3 or 4 feet across and 2 or 3 feet high.
How much does it look like it weighs?
Well, it's made of wood,
It's
so...
made of wood and it's like 1.5 inches thick. So
It's a mosaic though, so it's like ceramic and cement too, right?
no. It's a wooden mosaic, so it looks like wooden puzzle pieces.
Okay.
You guys can't just
Yeah.
keep saying over and over it's made out of wood, right? I only have so much self-control.
I got that it was made out of wood. I don't.
I just
but-
skipped over that part of it.
But Ron, it's made out of wood.
Like don't tempt
Stop.
him.
Much like everything here, Ron, it's all
Yeah,
made of
this
wood.
whole city is made out of wood, Ron.
No,
Oh my god, Ron, did you realize what she just said?
it's safe because it's living trees, and that's gauche. You don't want to burn living trees.
Anyways, I wonder where that clerk went because I'm beginning to worry about why they're taking so long to find out the price on this thing. That's
Right.
not usually a good sign.
So the clerk comes down and he says, "Not sale, belongs to owner from
Oh.
mother."
Perhaps we could speak with the owner.
Sure.
What did he say?
He said it's not for sale, but everything's for sale, Ross. You just have to make the right offer.
I don't know that I would have enough to convince him to buy something he does not want to sell. I may not be as adept at trading as you all, but that much I am sure of.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure we could set up some sort of financing deal where you could...
Wait, for 27 easy payments of, your left
Yes.
pinky.
27 easy
I
payments.
only have 2 2 of those.
Well,
You don't have
If it's still left, you probably only have one.
Fair enough.
get to work then.
All right, so in a handful of moments, the clerk comes back downstairs and says, she should come down momentarily. While these set of heroes is shopping, our wizard, Wildfire, is in a library wizarding, which leaves us with Victor, who is yet back by himself in the central hall of Mithrendain. What is Victor doing?
I'll retire to our chambers, which will be quiet with everyone out and about. I'll sit down on the floor and draw my greatsword out.
Mm-hmm.
In the fight with Gerflagon, it acted in an unexpected manner.
Why don't you remind everyone what it did?
It made me move faster, approximating a haste spell, which is very powerful, and I'm hoping to figure out what triggered it. The sword has a lot of mysteries that I don't know, so I'm hoping just spending some time with it, going through some sword stances, trying to trigger it, trying to see if I can, like, I don't know, feel anything from it.
Sure. This means you are reaching out with your magical senses. Make me some sort of... I reach out with my magical senses roll, so Arcana.
All right, I look around for someone to give me assistance. There's no one here.
There's a hell of a lot of player inspiration floating around out there, Ronald.
I will
That's
happily use one.
Woohoo!
We did it. We used chat inspiration.
Oh, and it
Hooray!
helped me, because 20 is a nice number to reach.
It is. All right, so as you are going through various offensive and defensive sword movement routines, you get into sort of a trance state, and you can reach out through the weave of magic, which is real hella weird here, and contact the magic in the sword itself. When it does, you are transported. You are in a hot, humid environment. You're covered with mud. You're injured in several places, and you are fighting for your life. What do you do?
I keep my guard up and observe what is attempting to kill me.
All right, you see a force of Aglarondian soldiers. You can see Fortress Glarendar in the distance behind you, and you are about to be overrun by undead.
Undead.
As you look around, you see like a flip of blonde ponytail off to the side, and when you look around, you realize you're not you. You look like a tall, athletic-looking elven woman with blonde hair, and you have sustained injuries that you feel aren't going to be immediately mortal, but you're unlikely to live through in the long run.
I have a feeling I'm reliving the death of the previous owner as described to me when I was given the sword. Is this undead attack seem similar to the one that our party helped fight off early in the campaign?
It does seem consistent with it, yes.
Well, then I guess I will fight.
All right. You wade into the battle, laying about with the sword. As you do, you can feel the power of the sword flux through you, increasing your speed to that of a whirlwind on the battlefield. At one point in time, you take a blow that finds the gap in your armor between the vambrace and the elbow guard. Name I've forgotten for that. And it cuts the muscle like nearly to the bone. And then there's another surge of warm energy from the sword that heals most of that back and enables you to keep your shield arm up. Or actually, it's a great sword. Enables you to maintain your grip on the sword.
I will attempt to internalize these feelings as best I can while continuing to fight through the undead.
There's a group of zombies coming up over the low rise in front of you, and you realize that you cannot hold this position, and you are about to be overrun. However, if you just turn and run now at your speed, you'll be able to escape, but the rest of the soldiers fighting in your command will be chewed up by the undead. What do you do?
I mean, I hold the line.
All right. You hold the line, enabling your troops to fight a retreat for safety. In the meantime, you take a black arrow to your ribs that actually penetrates your armor. When you look up to see from whence it came, you see a red-cloaked mage holding a bow with another black, crackling arrow of energy in it. Without even thinking about it, you shift your hand position, and the sword transforms into a bow in your hands.
Ooh.
You manage to shoot an arrow into the Thayan wizard, impaling her through the eye. As you do, zombies pile on top of you. Eventually, the light is extinguished.
That was, I'm sure, quite unpleasant there at the end.
Only briefly.
Interesting. Well, when I come to,
Mm-hmm.
while everything is fresh in my mind, I will attempt to replicate the functions of the sword that I glimpsed its previous wielder taking advantage of.
Okay. So as you continue to meditate with the sword, you can feel it reaching into your personal magic and enhancing the elven portions of your personal magic, and calling those more to the fore. As they do, you can feel the speed of a deer fly into your legs, and you move with extreme rapidity through your sets of offensive and defensive stances.
And without thinking about it too much, I'll attempt to shift it into a bow and decorate one of our host walls with an arrow.
Sure. As you do, you are treated to another vision. You are rattling around in a set of full plates. Your sword is in your hand, but it's no longer a great sword. It's a long sword. There's a shield on your left hand, and you can see a horde of undead coming across the sands towards you. The king's banner is behind you. What do you do?
I will attempt to join up with the king's banner, or put myself between it and the undead.
All right. You move yourself between the banner and the undead. There is a host of ghouls coming up towards you. They have an incredible stench that the desert heat just brings out in voluminous clouds of flies. As the horde gets closer and closer, you can hear your commanding officer cry out in Elvish, "Hold the line so the king can escape!" What do you do?
I'll attempt to hold the line. I hope that my elven blood is flowing thickly to the surface to protect me from the ghouls. I will take a second or two to observe the area. Does this appear to be similar to the desert that we recently traversed? Do I recognize the banner of the king?
Yep.
Is it the idiot king?
It is King Elfon's banner, yes.
All right. So I get to remember potentially dying to protect him. Is there any evidence of the mythal being used in some way?
You reach out for it, but there's so much magic moving across the battlefield. It's very chaotic. And the minute you try to reach out with your magical senses, you're caught up in the feel of scores of wizards on their sides, and several wizards and clerics and paladins and druids on your side, all pulling on the weave of magic. So it's hard to tell.
All right, well then I'll focus more close to home and focus on fighting and trying to get an idea of how this current user uses the sword. Does the shield I have any heraldry on it?
Yes, it's got heraldry of a poison ivy leaf on it.
A poison ivy leaf. Interesting.
So the fight surges around you, and the undead and their incredible smell that comes with them is practically taking over. The buzz of flies around you is a physical force. And again, the sand slips under your feet, and you find yourself apart from your unit and surrounded by undead. You have the speed to flee this area if you choose.
I'll continue to fight.
One of the ghouls comes up and manages to clip your knees, sending you down to one knee. After that, the ghouls start on top of you, and you can feel one pull your helmet off, and after that, it goes black. You can feel the blood of your body running out onto the sands.
I'm glad they didn't eat me while I was still alive.
Except they totally did.
You understand now, though, that there's only so much of haste that the sword will do for you, and it's not a lot.
Meaning
it is perhaps one encounter a day worth of haste.
Interesting. Well, that is good to know, and powerful. And unlike my visions in real life, I'll probably just use it to run away.
You know, even as you think that, you're subsumed into another vision. And in this one, you are taller than you are now, and lighter, and a full elf, because you could realize you can see from a spectrum that gives you full elven vision. And you are fighting in a forested area, and there are giants coming through the forest, like peeling the trees back and stomping people flat. Your sword changes to a bow in your hands. It's a beautiful elven longbow. You reach into the magical quiver on your back, knock an arrow, and send it straight into one of the giant's neck, specifically so the blood will fountain as she moves through the forest. There's a whole lot of giants in front of you, and a civilian population fleeing a small elven town behind you. What do you do?
Once again, I'll continue fighting. Am I fighting alongside other elves?
Yep. You recognize the livery that the elves are wearing as being a very primitive version, or very old version, rather, of Aglaron heraldry.
Interesting. It seems I'm going back through previous owners.
Mm-hmm.
I'll attempt to fight to do their, even do their memory proud, and attempt to learn what I can from their fighting experience.
Yeah.
And good ways to kill giants. It might come in handy in the future.
Sure. You dance through the battlefield, sped up by the magic in the sword. As you move forward, the weapon again changes into your hands into a wicked type of elven longsword that's kind of got a curve to it and a thickened blade, almost like a kukri. And you run up behind one of the giants and slice the big tendon behind its ankle as it collapses to the ground, howling in pain. behind you, you can still see people trying to get others out of houses, running into the forest.
That worked. I will look for the next giant and just keep going. Maybe I can win this one.
So you find the next giant, and the one after that, and the one after that. There are enough giants that they will surely overrun you. And if they overrun you, they will surely destroy the people fleeing the small town behind you. What do you do?
I'll try to identify a leader. Perhaps I can take off the head and reduce their morale.
Sure. So you identify a leader of the giants. She's larger than the others and has an elaborate headdress. Looks like it's made out of giant stag antlers. And with a daring climb up a tree and then leap, you end up on her shoulder. You flex the muscles in your arms and lop, off goes her head. You ride the body down to the ground, and your leg is trapped under the corpse. In just a few moments, the back line of giants gets up to you, and your life once again ends horribly.
I'll, I guess, be in the void, thinking about what had happened.
So, as you practice with the sword, you are treated to the last battles of many, a dozen previous owners of the sword. Every single one of them died defending Aglarond.
I better get back to Aglarond. But do I get the feeling their spirits are residing in the sword? Do I get the feeling the sword has its own spirit? Do I get any ideas along those lines?
You get the idea, particularly here in the Feywild, that it's not even really a sword. It is an expression of Eldarin will to protect the place of Aglarond. It just happens to take the shape of a sword because that's a pretty good instrument for beating the shit out of Aglarond's enemies.
I wonder if a few Eldarin that didn't make the cut for the Mythal got themselves turned into a sword as a consolation prize.
They actually have an inspiration point. It's kind of like a mini Mythal.
Interesting. Does it like right now we're not in Aglarond. Is it unhappy about that?
Not really. It seems content that you're doing the right thing.
All right. Well, that is good, I guess. Well, that's a lot to think about, a lot to live up to, or die up to, as the case may be.
Yes, you get the impression that it's almost like a curse, but not really.
It's a fate.
It's a fate. Excellent. That's the right point. It's a fate. It's not. The sword doesn't give you the fate. It's almost like you have the fate and the sword comes to you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't hold it against the sword then.
It's more like if you're gonna go down swinging, you might as well do so in the most effective way possible. That's the sense that you get. Also, now that you've had time to talk to your sword, it is a +2 weapon.
That is much appreciated. I assume I deduced that by throwing apples in there and chopping them, and eventually it happens just a little swifter.
A little swifter, and it feels more sure in your hand. You can tell that the grip of the sword has changed slightly, so it is specifically tuned to your grip.
So was I able to successfully change it into another weapon, or is that something that I did not achieve?
It takes you a while, but you manage to turn it into one other type of weapon. What type of weapon is that?
I mean, it would definitely be a longbow.
Okay. Yes, you change it into a beautiful elven longbow.
And can I change it back?
It takes a moment. Like, it's not fast. It is not fast at all. But you think perhaps with practice you might get it fast.
All right. Well, then I'll begin practicing.
Okay. You get it down to the point where it is a move action to turn it from a bow to a long greatsword.
Fancy.
That is fancy.
Nice.
All right. I'm sure that has taken a lot of time and steadily doing circles around the room, going through stances.
Yep. You've chopped a fair amount of fruit.
The room is a mess.
Yes.
Wildfire was probably there for the last hour of it, just watching. You just did not see him at all.
Wildfire walks in when he's in a vision, like, "Hey Victor, how you doing?" No answer. Victor? No answer.
Go and pick up a piece of fruit and just watch. I know how this goes. I'm not gonna mess with the sword. It's gonna toss me across the dang room again.
Yeah.
Probably out a window and then down 30 stories.
Yeah. I'll just eat a piece of fruit. It's fine.
On the plus side, perhaps when the sword, shall we say, rejected Ross, perhaps that simply means he's not fated to die for Agorod and maybe at home in his bed surrounded by children.
Probably. Though when you come out of it and you see Wildfire there's a buffet table with fruit and snacks on it, and behind it there's a wooden framed mirror. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see your elven features are now much more accented. The shift is subtle, but significant. Like, your ears are longer and pointier, and your eyes are more cat-like and larger. They're tilted like a cat and larger.
Interesting. I guess you got to be careful what you wish for in a vision. That's fine. Everyone mainly notices the rocks growing out of my body first anyway, so.
Yep.
I look forward to that fascinating fight between the rocks and the elfiness.
That's the show. They're always fighting.
They got it out for each other.
Right, that's
They're
why
bringing it
neither
to
of
Pain
them.
Town.
I have plans.
That's why
Worry
neither of
not.
them are going to be able to take over, y'all. They will just beat each other back to the point where Rod wins.
I have plans. Do not worry.
That never happens.
Why does that make me feel like Paige is going to have the rock people and the elves just come together and make decisions, above Rod's head?
Dragon Slayer 19 has said that Victor is now officially a rock/fairy type.
Ooh. Wildfire, have you tried throwing a Pokeball at him?
Gotta catch them all.
I mean, Wildfire's a fire Pokemon. He's a little Charmander out there, so... I think Malagar is Darkness Poison. Ross is probably,
Dragon fighting, obviously.
Oh, no, Dragon Water. Yeah, or Dragon Fighting. And Belwyn is...
Isn't Princess one of the types?
Fairy.
No, she might be Rock Earth.
Rock.
Normal? I'm actually going to go with normal type?
Yeah.
How
There's
weird.
No type, so that's not a thing. And there's no princess type, and I'm definitely not rock type because I'm not a rock. I don't have rocks sticking out of me like other members of the party.
True.
You did set that bar pretty high.
Ghost type probably, or psychic type maybe.
Righto. So,
We also have a question from Brother Flounder 47. Forgot to ask, with Wildfire's fire magic failing, I would say being weird, did his hair go out? It did not. Oh, Dragon Slayer has it. Fighting ground is what you would be.
okay.
Or maybe ground steel.
Ooh, steel.
Steel is a type.
Yeah, I can see steel working.
Yeah, I was saying earth, and I think I meant ground. I forgot my Poké types.
It's okay. You all have forgotten more about your Pokemon types than I have ever known, so...
You doing okay, Victor? You've been a little, like a gesture to the pile of fruit around you. Cuisinarty.
I've learned that this sword carries with it a fate of defending Aglarond, and I've learned to its small part harness its power, which will help me fight to defend Aglarond. But I think I've also cleaved my fate even more closely to that kind of end, which I guess I'm okay with. Hopefully it'll be a long time from now.
Well, I mean, you did it, so I mean, ain't worth crying over spilt milk. Want to get some food?
True. Yeah, I should stop cutting and start eating. I'm hungry all of a sudden.
So I have a theory, and it's a crazy theory.
All right, I am all ears.
Let's get everybody together. Where'd everybody else go?
They're shopping. I think for drugs. I'm not sure. Maligar is not the best influence, but Ross was trying to peddle his loincloths, and Belwyn. I'm not sure if she can keep them out of trouble or not.
They are aware that Feywild drugs get you so high that you might stop like being human, right? Like.
Well, I think at least Maligar knows what he's getting into. I mean,
fair enough.
There's no way he got swindled by someone that just claimed he was cursed and took all of our money for the cure. Like, that's the one thing that would never happen.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Maligar at all.
He's very worldly.
Just eat these magic beans.
Ooh, beans. Go on. Let's get some food. Maybe we can go catch up with them, or maybe they'll get back here.
Yeah, probably better to stay put. Wandering through an elven marketplace doesn't sound like a productive way to meet your friends.
Actually, we should see if we can find a person whose name I definitely remember.
Wisteria?
Wisteria. I have some questions for her.
Maybe we can...
Let's get food first. I could definitely eat.
All right.
So we go and find some food.
All right. Like I said, there's all kinds of charcuterie snacks in your room, but it only takes a few moments to find somebody in a hall and request food. And they say, well, the kitchen's been closed a while, but we will see what we have for leftovers and bring it up.
Why would their kitchen ever close?
Don't they have
They don't sleep.
parties?
Closed for us. It's closed for us. I
Yeah.
see how it is. I see it is. Racism. Racism is what's going on here.
Sure. Let me assure you that humans are second-class citizens of the Fable.
Oh yeah, I guarantee. Once we get back to our rooms, I'll do ascending to... Maligar.
I can't wait to hear this. What do you think?
Because, like, if they're all effed up, Maligar's definitely not the one who's effed up. He's the one who's laughing at them for being effed up.
I told them they should wait before they ate their second one.
Right, exactly. That's what is happening right now in Wildfire's head for sure.
Wait at least
5
an
minutes.
hour.
Give me the other one.
I don't feel anything.
That's
I
how you
need
got
more of that
titles.
sweet, sweet fey blood.
I will say, tell Maligar that we have something. I have found some stuff that we should probably discuss. If they could come back from shopping relatively soon, we'll have some food prepared, and I'll be prepared to present all that I've found out.
Excellent.
What's
You stop and get Eldarin fried chicken on the way back because every culture has late night fried chicken.
Ooh, that smells amazing.
Actually, it's fried partridge here,
Ooh.
and it's has kind of a tarragon in the breading. It's quite good.
Great.
And I don't normally like potatoes, but the way they've cut them into these waffle shapes,
Makes all the difference.
amazing.
Makes all the difference.
Sadly, it doesn't travel great, so
That's Eldarin technology for you.
That's fine. Just keep feeding him the potatoes, so some of the chicken actually makes it back to the room.
So
Partridge.
Partridge.
is Ross now the owner of a fine wooden mosaic?
Oh, right. So the owner comes down, and she is an Eldarin woman, and you can actually faintly see almost age lines on her face. Almost.
Ooh,
Like
and
everyone here looks like they're 25. She looks like she's 35.
she comes
Whoa.
in, and do you know what's in her hands?
What?
A DM inspiration!
Sadly, I haven't
Gross.
rolled any rolls yet. I have some combat maps ready, but they've decided not to pick any fights.
I mean, we told you ahead of time we were going to go shopping. I don't know what you expected.
Well, I'm saving my inspiration till next week.
I know.
Unless
I
you
will
get the
point
fight
out,
in the last 20 minutes here.
it's probably a good thing that you had some combat mats because you did tell Ron that the whole place was made of wood. So
That's
If he
true.
wants to throw down with his inner arsonist, then I'm prepared.
And you
True.
can always have the stormtroopers kick in the door. Like, just because we've decided to do something has no bearing on whether or not we have a combat encounter.
Oh
That's
no!
right, don't-
I also have the stormtroopers kicking in the door encounter ready, but this has seemed pretty interesting. So, all right, yeah, everybody here looks like there's 25. She looks like she's 35. And she looks at you and says in accented but perfectly serviceable Elvish, "Greetings and welcome. What do you want this for?"
Ah, my friend here, Malgar would gesture at Ross, has felt a certain personal connection to this lovely wooden mosaic. And while your clerk did say that it perhaps that you were attached to it, he seems Ross here seems very interested in it. Maybe if you could actually even tell us more about Berlin.
Oberlinia.
Oberlinia. I don't know what's come over him, but he has fallen into it.
Well, when the world was still new, well before man had come here, certainly before dwarves, before elves,
Malaga will translate for Ross.
sure.
and even before the Empire of the Serpent Folk and the Empire of Dragons, the Empire of Giants, the Eldarin existed, and some of the first Fae ever to live was the Moonstag Oberlinia. Oberlinia is my great grandfather.
Huh.
And he carries the moon in his antlers and leads and protects the deer in the forest, with the understanding that some must fall to wolves for the cycle of life to continue.
You were right. That was the moon. I'm sorry, Ross.
I've been in those hunts. He has defended his forest as nobly as any prey could.
Yes. I assume that Malagar translates that.
I guess. But she also seems like someone who would just happen to know common anyway, so...
If she does, she's not copping to it.
Right. Well, she'll translate back.
In fact, that's why the moon comes and goes. Sometimes you cannot chew on my microphone, kiddo. That is how you get put on the floor. The reason why the moon comes and goes is because sometimes Oberlinia falls to the wolves, but he is always born anew and is never completely destroyed. The cycle continues.
So is he being reborn then?
Every time, yes.
Where can I find him?
Oh, he now lives in a place far from here, among the outer planes.
That sounds about right. But you felt like you were him? Is that what you said, Ross?
In the Feywilds, we ran these woods. He knew them like... I suppose he doesn't have the backside of a claw, but whatever the elk equivalent would be.
Yes, well, he is... It's hard to explain to non-Fae. She makes a apologetic face towards Malagar. The thing is, while he exists elsewhere in his own home, he also exists here, too, in the same place at the same time. It is rare that he is seen in the Feywild, but not never. If you had a vision that you ran as him or with him, then that was a powerful vision of the Fae.
What does it mean?
It means that you are a part of the cycle of life, and that you must die and be reborn, and die and be reborn, and that is how populations thrive. That's how the world thrives. You see, that's the whole difference about the Feywild, or the whole reason about the Feywild. It's it is a way for nature to express herself physically.
The circle of life, so to speak.
Yes, the appropriate circle of life. And it's why there is such a vast difference between the Feywild and the Shadowfell, you see. The Shadowfell represents the stop of that circle of life, unnaturally. Death is a part of life, and it's not to be feared, it's to be welcomed, anticipated. But the negation of the Shadowfell, undeath, that is the opposite of the circle of life.
I believe I know what she means by the acceptance of death. In my clan, we do not fear death, but we are honored by it. When it comes, we can only hope that it is glorious.
Well, I'm assuming again Malagar translates.
Yes.
That is, I won't say the Eladrin look for glorious deaths, but falling in battle is certainly respectable, but so is dying in your bed, old, and surrounded by your... I suppose it doesn't really apply to Eladrin that way.
I mean, I think I understood what she's implying, and I definitely get the look on my face that she has just said that, like, something horribly, horribly dishonorable. Like, I cannot express the look on Ross's face right now, but what she has just suggested is nigh incomprehensible.
I know. It's cultural differences.
Ross, are you okay? You look a bit unwell.
I have much to muse on here. What she has said about death is conflicting with what I know.
Well, I mean, there are cultural differences too. I mean, like, I'm sure the dwarven way of dealing with the dead is different from your folks' way of dealing with the dead, which is, different from the way Malagar and Wildfire and Victor and all that stuff. I mean, it's all different for different cultures. You don't need necessarily know one's right or one's wrong.
But it's more puzzling to me that such a philosophy comes from those as immortal as the Eldarin.
I mean, it's just as your mortal life is, just over a slightly longer time scale.
Technically, the Eldarin are immortal. Something your kind, she gestures towards Malagar, gave up when they left here.
Well, I can't really speak to that particular trade-off or how ill-advised or not it was.
Yes, I realize that the ones who made that trade-off were gone a long time in your world.
So, Ross, are you still interested in the artwork, or did you get your questions answered?
I have much to think about. Perhaps something as this would not be best to bring with us.
Well, and you can also think about it. We're going to need to bring Wildfire back here to take a look at all these wands and stabs and other, accoutrements. Plus, I just can't make sense of this jewelry here. I'm sure that, after we get some rest or some more progress or 3 drinks or something, I'll be able to figure that out too.
He does want us back. I got the message from him a few moments ago, but I felt Ross needed some answers. So let's go back and we'll bring some fried partridge with us, shall we?
Oh, that sounds great.
If your friend wishes to revere Oberlenia, I do have a small gift for you then.
Ah.
She goes back upstairs and then comes back downstairs, and she's got in her hands a small wooden carved figure of the stag, but it's carved so expertly and so beautifully you can practically see the muscles of the stag rippling under his hide. And in his antlers is a silver disc of the moon.
May your prey be as noble as he.
I would love to know how Malagar translates that. Literally.
Occasionally with, sort of hand signals and finger puppets.
Fair enough.
Eat the thing, but be as, yes, good as the other thing.
Well, if he reveres grandfather, then I wish him well on his journeys.
Excellent. Well, shall we? I think we'll return anyways. Thank you very much for explaining to my friend. This was very interesting, in fact.
Well, I'm happy to help.
All right, let's go get some chicken. I think. Partridge. I think
Sorry,
Wildfire waits.
I'm now trying to process my new how much this is going to change my outlook on death. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens out of this.
Yay! Growth! Woohoo!
I think I need to have a conversation with Wildfire now about Mira. It's going to be totally fine, Wildfire. I've got this new philosophy called reincarnation. It's going to solve everything.
All right, so it is a pleasant evening stroll back to the main hall. There are lamps of delicate make that have small orange lights in them that light the way for those who don't have dark vision, but also supply extra color and detail to those that do. And when you get to the hall, Olaris, who is the member of Algard who walked you in, is at the door, and they give you a smile and gesture you inside.
Okay. Back into the room we go.
Yep. I guess you find Victor and Wildfire having just been delivered several bowls of delicious smelling barley venison stew and fresh bread that is still hot and butter with it as well, and honey.
Why is there so much diced fruit?
It does look like somebody was making fruit salad.
It looks like there's something different about Victor, like something going on with like his eyes or his like what? Is it just me?
Did he get one of those things? A haircut?
No, his ears are 4 centimeters longer. I measured while he was unconscious.
It's not 4 centimeters. It's not 4 centimeters. It's
4
like
centimeters.
centimeter and a half.
Fine.
That's not weird at all.
Was Victor unconscious?
And his eyes, Victor's eyes are green? Green or blue?
Something like that, yeah.
I think they were green. They're now, normally they were just kind of like a human green, but now they're kind of a definitely not a human colored green.
This all seems totally normal for a haircut.
Yes, clearly. It's what mammals do. Who knows?
No, I think it's called a glow up. It looks like he had a glow up.
I've got a sample size of 1. I've got all the facts I need.
There's your science. Wait,
Yes.
write it down. Write it down. Then it's science.
The
Apparently,
barber did the measuring, so it's definitely science.
being in the Feywild has enabled me to strengthen my connection with this sword that I was gifted, and it has made changes on me to bring me more in line with what it wants, basically.
It has the power to chop through fruits.
Yes, there's still fruit littering the ground. Obviously, Wildfire and I didn't clean it up. I mean, we're not animals.
No, I would have cleaned it up.
You would have cleaned it up?
It cost me no effort whatsoever to clean it up. Prestidigitation.
Your lips are gonna chat, my friend, and then
Prestidigitation.
you'll go to Malagar for an ointment, and then you will be filled with regret.
What?
See, this is the thing. I'm not going to go to Malagar for an ointment.
Wildfire.
I know it lies down that road.
Pushing all the fruit into a corner and throwing a blanket over it doesn't count as prestidigitation.
That's not a corner. That's where you sleep. On the fruit now, obviously.
Fortunately, the fermenting of the fruit might keep you warm.
Yeah, that's my hope.
Because it's chilly here. Like, it's...
Listen, I'm just trying to say you need to take a bath. That's all I'm trying to
55
say.
degrees out.
What? So he just take a fruit bath?
That's kind of nice, actually.
At this point, I gotta just trick him, as far as I can tell.
This has become quite the spa experience. But
Ooh,
really,
sleeping on the fruiton.
Oh,
Well
slow
done.
tiger.
Excellent.
Point of inspiration for you, old slow tiger.
so we aren't concerned about Victor being controlled by this magic weapon and all. That doesn't sound good for anyone, really.
I think it'll be fine.
What could go wrong?
I mean, many things, but like they were already gonna go wrong, so it's not worth worrying about. He already did the thing. We're done now.
Done, dude.
He done did the thing.
You had something.
Go on.
If I just sit here for 2 minutes, I can wait till next episode to tell you all.
Whoa!
Oh, hey, you can't work the meta like that.
I can do whatever I want.
You need to leave us with a snappy one-liner.
Yes.
I think I might know how to keep the mythal and also end the situation.
Dun dun dun!
Wow.
I mean, I feel like that's a great one-liner to end it on.
All I did was
All
chop
right.
fruit today.
all you did was chop fruit. Yes, that's all. That's all Victor did was chop fruit. Nothing else.
Got a
Didn't
third
you
level
also
spell.
die like several
2+2
times?
Weapons.
Right?
Side bunch.
Truth.
Well, we'll have to hear about Wildfire's cool plan next week on Feats and Fables. All right. Thank you all for joining us on our adventure tonight. Please, if you can, like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you, chat, for inspiration. I'm going to use mine next week. I didn't get a chance to whip anybody's ass tonight. We love having you with us. You make our day. The terrible puns and the cool theories are the highlight. We'd like to thank our listeners and supporters, including Coda.
Oh God, why was I not prepared for this?
I don't know.
Maxim, or thank you for the bits. We've also got Brother Flounder with the Tier 1 community gift sub. Thank you, Brother Flounder.
Bruh.
And our newest follower Darwin Indy. Hope we got you back after last week's Across the Obelisk stream.
All right. Please join us next Monday at 8 p.m. on Twitch at Eastern Time to see what happens next. And follow us
To
adventure!